Who killed Faze Clan? This is a question on everyone's lip as they sift through the wreckage of what was once a titan of the content world. Once upon a time, they were pioneers in the space, building one of the very first content houses of its kind and acquiring a massive rabid fan base in the process.
Because what happens next is I say, and who thinks Faze Clan? Jesus.
Through all the trials and tribulations, many members were loyal to a fault, insisting that they would stay through all the ups and downs. And along the way, there were plenty of both.
Would you ever consider leaving the clan?
Hell no. Even when Faze was going through its worst time, I didn't think about leaving. I was like, I'm just gonna trust the process. Like, Faze has been a part of my life. I pretty much have been in Faze for my entire YouTube career. So like,
you never switch up on the game?
Never.
Every time you thought that you could count Faze out, they re-emerged like a phoenix to claim their relevancy and plenty of revenue too. At a certain point, Faze seemed like it was truly indestructible, as though it could survive a nuclear war alongside the cockroaches, when from out of nowhere, December 25th, 2025 suddenly became known as the day where the wheels fell off once and for all. And at that moment, fingers are being pointed as everyone wonders who really destroyed the former two-time Content Organization of the Year.
People just kept coming into Faze, taking control of it, who didn't know anything about fucking gaming, bro. And just ruined the whole shit, man.
And now we're gonna unpack it. It's your boy Luesta, and this is the final chapter of the Faze Clan. Just as everyone was winding down for the holidays, some of the biggest names in streaming were plotting something major. Only a few short years ago, Faze entered a new era defined by a whole host of stars. As time went on, some of the recently recruited crew parted ways with them, but it ultimately remained solid with no real signs of major instability. But just a day after Christmas, Stable Ronaldo, Jason the Ween, Silky, and Lacey confirmed all their exits on X, prompting longtime member Faze Apex to leave after 15 years. These departures were later followed with other vets like Rug and Adapt, essentially disseminating the entire team, and leaving behind announcement videos that left both some of the team and their audiences emotional.
Officially left Faze Clan. This easily was one of the toughest decisions of my entire life because I was in Faze Clan for nearly half of my life. I left Faze because all of my friends left. Like I said, Faze is a family to me, and if all of my brothers leave Faze, I felt like I had to leave Faze.
With 8 out of 8 of the new generation leaving, as well as a handful of staples of the crew, the situation left others like Scope wondering what to do.
Man, I didn't expect the stream to take this route, dude. I don't want to be live for this, man. I think I'm I don't want to be live. I'm good on that, bro. I don't want to really be live right now.
Speaking out about why he sided with the creators rather than management, Adapt insisted that their presence helped to revitalize his love of what they do.
At some point, I wasn't gonna be the last person on a sinking ship, you know? And all of these guys came in and revived it and revived my passion for content creation and wanting to do that. So I'm rocking with them. And it was a hard decision to come to, but that's what it is.
And eventually, its only remaining member, Jev, came out of his cocoon and said that while he had no beef, there was just nothing left for him to be a part of.
Am I leaving Faze? Am I staying in Faze? I didn't really know how to explain it, but you can't leave a team that is literally over. It's done. It's gone. You can't leave a team that doesn't exist.
While those on the outside looking in thought that something else might be in the pipeline for the guys who'd abandoned ship in such an orderly fashion.
Obviously, I'm not in the loop, but if they're all saying they're leaving Faze Clan, it gotta be creating a new org.
Once the news spread, it was no surprise that a lot of people saw the situation as unsalvageable for Faze. Those who left represented 60% of Faze Clan's active livestream audience, creating a hole in their empire that might be impossible to fill. And after all the creators had their say, it came time for the owners' churn. Reportedly, the whole thing began when they were unable to come to terms with Hardscope and its CEO, Matt Kalish, the co-founder of DraftKings, who began investing in Faze back in 2024. According to his account of the situation, Kalish had put $10 million into the talent group over the past 18 months to expand their careers. Now, they were asking for 20% of the revenue, and this, according to Aiden Ross, wasn't something the creators were willing to give.
They're using Faze's foundation, their money to buy stuff for shoots, brand deals, like Faze has been doing, right? It's a corporate business. They never signed that 20% initially. They come after them a year and a half later and then ask for the 20%. That is where I think that that's in the wrong. Because listen, if your intention was to sign these guys for 20% to join Faze, they probably would have all done it. But now you waited till they're big and they already have millions of followers and dollars. So why would they sign a contract? You can't put a deal in their face at this point.
My best guess is they're all good kids and have a lot of people in their ear and are confused. Kalish said in an interview, Faze had subsidized all of their expenses, he added. In spite of his suggestions that the company was intended to turn creators into next-gen media moguls, he admitted that the current financial structure of Faze was unsustainable. Within a matter of months, it seems like everything has crumbled, leaving even those who weren't actively viewing their content shocked by how such a giant in the streaming world could fall so fast. Was never a huge Faze fan, but it's tragic seeing a historically significant COD brand die like this. Faze were by far the most valuable brand in all of gaming entertainment, and seeing them end because of gross mismanagement is tragic. It's really crazy how there wasn't a single adult in the room to keep the ship afloat. But how did they get here? And more importantly, were there common problems that have led to this grim fate for a brand that once seemed capable of taking on the world? Born in May 2010 as Faze Sniping, the crew progressed over time from trickshot videos to become a major phenomenon. By the end of 2011, they had already hit over 500,000 subscribers. Soon, there came a lucrative G Fuel partnership, paving the way for further deals with the likes of McDonald's, Porsche, Nike, and a whole lot more. And as people came and went, Banks, who originally joined the crew from SOAR and became an integral member of their first Faze House generation in 2014, basically became their mouthpiece.
Who came up with Faze?
Tommy Temper. Met this kid on Xbox, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, crazy.
We kind of co-founded Faze as a company together.
It is crazy to like listen to
It's unreal.
The idea that two kids created this company that now just went public on NASDAQ. How the did you do that?
I am that kid who was born to be a loser and around on the internet and made a life for himself, and every step of the way for me personally, I just followed what I believed in and what I was having fun doing.
For almost a decade, there was endless success for Faze that inspired immense brand loyalty and fans. They felt like they were part of something, rushing to buy the next merch to show their affiliation to the crew. In doing so, they lined their pockets of their favorite creators in the company. But those who were paying attention would learn that there were always issues below the facade of friendship and esports success. And just as it is today, a whole lot of them were financial. An early instance of this came in 2018 when recent signee Tfue lifted the lid on what he saw as an unfair contract that basically meant the company was taking advantage of him.
This contract basically allows Faze at any point in 3 years to just fucking take all my hard earnings and all my hard work and just strip it. Over 49%, over 79%. What is in this contract is insane, and that's not even the worst parts. And what I'm trying to do here is just serve justice to the esports community, the esports industry. These kids are getting ripped off, they're getting taken advantage of. These contracts are not okay, and this needs to never happen again. And there's tons of people in contracts this bad, just like me. And I'm the first person to stand up and say, this is not right, this is not cool. This is fucking bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. And if only you guys could see what is in this contract. I can't disclose what is within this contract, but Faze Clan, please release the contract for the public to see. Let me show the public. Just give me permission to show these people the truth.
Initially, Faze denied it all, but a leak revealed that the splits were obscene in favor of the company. Even then, Faze claimed that they never took more than $60,000 in total from Tfue, but it wasn't something that the vast majority of fans were buying, and led to some people losing patience. Then, there was the pump and dump cryptocurrency scam involving Save the Kids, resulting in the expulsion of several members, while Banks insisted that doing that had rid them of their bad elements of the squad.
Guys, this has gone so beyond social media drama at this point. Like, there's legal implications for these guys, I'm sure, right?
Like someone could go to jail. Like someone really could go to prison.
That is not like a crazy wild thought. Nobody had anything to do with this. We run a tight ship. We're building a legitimate business. And the only thing we're interested in is creating a brand that lives past ourselves, a Nike of esports and video game and internet culture. Like, we have huge dreams and we haven't even cracked the fucking surface yet. And anybody that's ever seen us interact with our fucking people, our fans, like, that's what comes first, bro. That's what fucking FaZe Clan is. And to suggest that we, like, would ever even think about touching something like that is fucking, it's just gross. And it pisses me off.
But once again, people were not buying it. How is anyone into the FaZe shit? You gotta be either a dumb little kid or just a dumb fuck. Influencers manipulating their child fan base is nothing new. Aside from disgruntled people on the internet, this really did nothing to truly slow the momentum of the brand, expanding to the point that 100 content creators and esports professionals were under its belt. And 10 years on from that first milestone of 500,000 subscribers, they reached the valuation of $1 billion in 2021, as they unveiled plans to become a public company. Ultimately, they lost a quarter of the value before it was even listed. From there, things went from bad to worse, and FaZe ended up losing more than 90% of its value within a year of going public. The company lost more than $28 million in the first half of 2023 alone, becoming a penny stock and leading to people wondering if there was any way to save them. All of this ensured that by October 2023, FaZe Clan could be acquired by a much smaller company, GameSquare Holdings, for a bargain price of only $17 million. Then Matt Kalish of Hardscope bought in, leading to a 49 to 51% split between the two investors. But under this new ownership, leadership was finally returned to some of the original FaZe members, with FaZe Banks proudly declaring that he got the passwords back on X. As for other parties involved, they claim to have the best intentions, as CEO of GameSquare, Justin Kenna, stated. This new administration also brought FaZe Media, a whole new sub-organization which was completely separate from the esports, and which Banks bought 25.5% of. But even as people like Banks clawed back control of the company, there were some long-standing staples of the crew, including FaZe Rain, who were less than enthused and refused to be a part of it. Hey, so obviously, I left FaZe because contrary to popular belief, 51% of the company is still corporately owned. I can't get burned again. There's so many people involved in that team that are strictly there for money and attention. Despite being an original founder of the clan and a consistent member for over a decade, Clips was also removed from the FaZe roster without so much as a courtesy call. Instead, he found out online like everybody else.
I was a part of the roster that was released. I was always told that I would be in like a Hall of FaZe. I would always be a member. I even signed a legacy contract stating all those things. You know, that I pretty much would always be in FaZe as long as I didn't do anything crazy. But it sucks to, you know, wake up one day, see the tweet that was just posted, and nobody hit me up. A lot of the people got calls from the guys like Tommy and them, and they were told that they were going to be kicked before the tweet went up or after. I never got a call, so I was like, am I still in?
Adapt, Apex, Banks, Jev, Kaysen, Nick Merckx, Replays, Ronaldo, Rug, Scope, Swag, Temper, Your Rage, Zuma, everyone else is out. That's the roster. Although it ruffled some feathers with both those who were kicked to the curb and some longtime fans, the initial spell under the new administration was a success. Guided by the new crop of creators that Banks curated, FaZe gained over 1 billion impressions and more than 2 billion minutes watched during their month-long subathon in September 2024, which according to reports made over $2 million. Later that year, FaZe won the award for Best Content Organization at the 2024 Streamer Awards, making a full circle return to the heights of internet entertainment. Even if Banks did occasionally complain about having to deal with a bunch of unruly kids that suddenly had more money than they'd ever seen in their lives.
Too much to type, bro. Too much to type. Yeah, so we just officially got evicted from the crib. I f***ing told these kids, man, guys, I'm about to lose my mind. We're trying to run this shit up with no f***ing budget, no f***ing help. We have a ton of help from a ton of good people, but guys, it f***ing feels like that sometimes, man. Like, I love these kids, but what the f***, Max? Like, I told these kids, this is all behind the scenes shit too, and then I come out looking like the bad guy going crazy. What the f is this fool talking about? We're on our last strike with this crib.
Still, nothing was ever easy, and members like Temper were kicked out on account of inappropriate behavior after being exposed by former FaZe Clan mainstay, Rain.
And there's bad shit because a lot of people don't even know why I left FaZe. I wasn't even pushed out, I left. There's a fucking pedophile involved too, bro. I don't give a f if I get sued, I could give a f, I always stand up for what's right. That was the final straw, bro.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Call him. He's like, Banks, don't play dumb. We talked about this before. I'm like, Norton, pause. You're saying that Faze Temper is a pedophile, which that is who he's talking about in the clip.
One day I go to New York and I go to this club that's 21 plus, and I link up with a buddy there, and he invites a couple girls, and I end up going back with these girls to my hotel room. I slept with one of them, and I found out after that this girl was 17, and that's the age of consent in New York. But regardless, I was sick to my stomach. It was just extremely uncomfortable knowing that.
Along the way, one of their biggest modern stars, Plaqueboy Max, left in August 2025 to forge ahead on his own, but expressed gratitude on his way out the door.
But yes, I'm leaving Faze. Like I just say, I can't fully go into depth why I'm leaving Faze, but I am leaving, and I'm ready to, embark on my journey and work the hardest I ever have in my career to do whatever I got to do to make 5-star the biggest possible, make myself the biggest possible. Just keep working. Ended up joining a group, and I'm gonna be honest, it's one of the best decisions I ever made in my life, joining Faze, like, for sure.
But once again, this hardly put a dent in their momentum. Soon, even the naysayers who didn't believe in his strategy were forced to give up to him. I was deaf on the Faze's dead side during the reboot, and I hate to admit it, but Banks really proved us all wrong. Still, even with everything he did right, Banks would prove to be both the Faze clan's savior and its greatest enemy at the same time, as his reputation wound up in the toilet once again. After Faze had just found its feet again and all those past accusations were fading, Banks was embedded in the MLG scandal, where it was alleged he crashed the cryptocurrency's value from 200 million to 12 million. Reportedly, this all began when Banks demanded some over-the-table deals, which the team were not willing to abide by. And when they didn't do what he asked, he sold the equity he had. When it comes to OTC, I'm more than happy to do deals on the spot, but don't feel like it's right to give special treatment. And I can't stress this a second longer. 0 point. I make 6 figures a day. It was never about the money, more about being right. I've lost faith in my team. As he abruptly crashed out in what seemed like a moment of vindicative anger, it had a massive, far-reaching fallout for the coin, with Banks even throwing his friend Aiden Ross to the wolves over it, and blaming the rug on him.
I don't want hate at all. I just want to help people. That's really it. So if you guys are telling me exactly what to do, I'm not going to make one move without your guys'.
That's kind of the whole point.
Cool.
You called me 2 weeks ago and asked, you said, I'm with my friend right now, he's saying this, he's saying that, and I said, please, Aiden, just don't.
Yeah.
Just fucking let's do this shit the right way. That's
Got
the
it.
whole point, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to be rugging anything. Or I don't want. What?
It's just retarded.
Every celebrity does that. They join crypto and they like instantly rug.
But I'm here to stay.
Yes, you're here to stay. You're doing the right
I don't need the money. I'm doing this for fun. I swear to God I am.
Even more scathingly, it was later revealed that he and the crew later laughed as he instantly lost money after buying in.
Just listen.
Dude, can I talk about that?
Talk about what?
Why am I down money?
Because people are using you to sell. People are using your buy as like a spot to sell.
I'm down 12 grand.
It's okay.
It'll go up.
People have been expecting this moment all day because again we're retarded. So a lot of people bought MLG probably today, expecting you were going to buy it and using the event of you buying it to sell it. But it's fine. Again, this is something that we're all positioned in for good reasons. There's a lot of reasons to be excited about a position like MLG.
But alongside the financial deficit it placed Aiden in, he was left hurt by being treated like this by Banks, as he felt that their relationship was vastly deeper than just someone who came on stream alongside him from time to time. In the wake of it all, Banks stepped down from his position at Faze, protesting his innocence along the way.
You should try. I feel like you shouldn't go off the internet. I feel like you should explain yourself.
Brother, I love you, and I love. See, even in the midst of bullshit, you do have a great heart, and like this was genuinely, whether it was between you and Frank, personal bullshit. This was just some shit that just spiraled completely out of control. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, bro. All of this is out of control. I agree.
100%.
All miscommunicated, all out of control.
And I appreciate you, but brother, I'm good off that. Like I came out the cut to help bring the Faze shit back. I think we did that. I'm good. These boys got it from here, and I'm 33 years old. I don't have a kid. I'm a bum by everybody else's standards, so I'm gonna just focus on that.
This later prompted a post on X from Banks, where he claimed to never have scammed anyone a day in his life. Now, even as he claimed he'd done nothing wrong, people actually felt that it showed the depth of what he's capable of. and is really just another example of his underhanded ways. Meanwhile, people who'd foresaw it all felt like they were being vindicated by Banks' world coming down around his head.
And just wait until y'all see that crypto shit that they up to, twin. They got something cooking, twin. That's why all these trying to, hey, bro, I ain't gonna say too much. I'ma just laugh for right now, bro, because y'all don't get it. So I'ma just laugh, bro. But just remember what the I'm talking about, bro. All right?
Banks' departure was a major step in the history of Faze, especially because he had been the face of the company for so long, and when he stepped into management position under the new Faze, that only intensified. So when there was a problem, people tended to point the finger in his direction. As the dust settled on the crew, leaving on the 26th, Blackboy Max spoke out about the difficulties with management as he reflected on leaving the clan himself in August of 2025.
Where I'm not even going to specifically name names, because if he was there, he was there. It's not the most big deal. But we had a sponsor for that day and didn't end up doing the sponsor. Game night. Yes, if he was there, he was there. After that happened, according to the assistants and staff of the creators, because I'm not gonna lie, I just really don't remember. They said that Faze has pulled everybody for the rest of the month and said he is home early. This is the first time where in my head, I went, okay, so how much control do we have here? And how much control do we have over us? So out of these moments, I really questioned, and I think I made a decision, especially after this, what am I gonna do here? I can't be here no more. And I honestly didn't think I was gonna leave as soon as I did, but it was on some shit like, bro, I gotta make this decision sooner or later, gang.
And over the course of the stream, he lifted the lid on the level of control that Faze's higher-ups exercised over them and their careers, using a story involving Lacey to explain what he'd been concerned about.
I remember when Lacey got kicked from Faze, he really got kicked from Faze. He got kicked from Faze because, according to the assistants and the staff and the cameramen, they said that he had missed a video shoot or something, and we were missing video shoots, and so he actually got kicked from Faze. Granted, he was allowed back in couple later, because they all had combos, but yes, he got kicked from Faze. So my point of this is to tell y'all this: we had no control. There was no control. Or it's like we're puppets. At least that's what it felt like.
However, it seems unlikely we got the full story, as Max acknowledged that due to signing certain documents and likely NDAs, there are things he can't divulge with the public. And if Max did, then that'll be the case for everyone else too. Since leaving in their own right, others such as Your Rage have suggested that, on reflection, some things simply didn't add up, and they followed their gut instincts.
Multi-million-dollar house for the free ski. We got all this shit lined up. I'm like, yo, that sounds too good. So I'm supposed to drop my whole life, my whole world, and go to LA and just believe it just got me out there? No, bro. No, bro. And imagine if I would've. I would've been out there in LA homeless with $10 looking for a place to sleep. Imagine I did that shit. You feel me?
These sentiments were recently echoed by Faze Swag, who felt that the sponsorships they were being offered from less than prestigious organizations didn't align with the cash they were making.
The boys are at the height of everything. They're back-to-back orgs of the year. All the boys are averaging 10, 20K viewers, and then like the best sponsor we could grab was 4Loco. It was. I was sitting there thinking like something's weird. Like I feel like, especially with now, the best we can do is 4Loco, bro. There's 7 people in Faze averaging 20K viewers. These motherfuckers, they should have been on a cover of cereal boxes. Like I was sitting there like, wait, there's something's not making sense. Like how like 2 years ago did we have Porsche and McDonald's?
Whether he meant it to be or not, Max's decision to leave in August basically set the blueprint for what was to come. Initially, he endured a dip in views when he initially left, but soon steadied the ship, and is perhaps more relevant than ever. For all of those who have done it in December, there's a sense that all of them had similarly outgrown Faze, and the way Max leveled up can only be encouraging. So when faced with the option to go independent or fall in line with Matt Kalish's plan by signing a deal with Hardscope, the choice was obvious, because ultimately they'd become so successful in their own right that forfeiting any amount of cash is unnecessary.
You see that little townhouse? They trying to make that pay 20 bands a month. What the f? Or give a percentage of myself. What the f? But Max is such a good nigga. He just, yo, bro, I just wanna. And now niggas like Max look crazy, look like egoed out. No, that shit not cool though. Like taking shit on the chin, making him look like this ego monster. Don't know the truth, bro. don't know the truth.
Then there was the matter of contractual issues, which called to mind what Tfue had sued over back in the day. In fact, the similarities were so apparent that Ronaldo even recreated his famed announcement video.
Listen, man, I'm gonna keep this short and simple, y'all. I'm gonna keep this short and simple. This stuff that's going on, this is f***ing bullshit. This is not cool. This is f***ing bullshit. This is f***ing not cool. Release the contract. This is f***ing bullshit. This is not cool.
And as Banks only waded into the situation, things only got worse. Following his lengthy video where Max explored his situation with Faze, Banks came at the former signee hard, outing a lot of the internal politics behind the group that came together for the relaunch.
Max, I know we've had like our individual differences, and I know I haven't really seen eye to eye with a lot of the talent because truthfully and honestly, I find you guys all to be incredibly ungrateful. I find you guys all to have insane egos, and I think it's disgusting and makes me sick to my stomach that your guys' relationships with each other and with every other streamer, and your community included, is so incredibly fake. You guys are the best actors on planet Earth, and you've made a complete career out of all of it. Max, these are your boys, but these are the same guys that said they f***ing hated your guts after you left. And you know, you're the program and you have an ego the size, you think you're Travis Scott and this and that. And also, like, Max, multiple conversations about how Ron's content's cringe and you guys didn't f*** with the dad. None of you guys f***ed with Lacey or Jason in the beginning. You guys didn't want these guys to live anywhere near you. You barely wanted to share a brand with them. But Faze was gonna fund a Miami house for you, Rage, Silky, and Kason. So f*** it. We'll take what we can get. And then it all worked. And we forced this relationship. And I was called a fucking retard then, and I was told then I was ruining Faze, and now 2 years later, it wound up being the best thing that ever happened. So you understand why I'm sitting here and I'm frustrated.
On his part, Banks claimed he never made any money aside from his salary, and truly regretted the entirety of the rebrand.
Yeah, I think Faze, to acquire and all the costs for these guys' careers over the last 2 years, I think ballpark 40 million bucks. And I think probably collectively these guys have had to have probably made like 20 million in the last 2 years. That's the only intent. Where's the money? I'm this guy who's trying to take everything from everybody. Where is it? Then why the am I millions of dollars in debt? Where is it? It's in Blackboy Max's bank account. It's in fucking Silky's bank account. It's in Jason, Ronaldo, Lacey's bank account. I wish this never happened.
Because in his eyes, these people were ungrateful. The guys had free housing, free filmers and staff, all Faze channels, zero income shared. Their money and platforms all skyrocketed after meeting me. But I'm the bad guy? None of it makes sense. Once this post and his lengthy rant went live, Lacey, Jason, and others disputed this narrative, claiming that they were still going to be in the same orbit and that Banks' depiction of the dynamic was wrong.
A week ago, we all stopped streaming during the last day of our marathon that we were doing. We have decided as a group that obviously it was in our best intention to leave Faze Clan. So all the speculations that like, oh, this is like an announcement, or this is something that we planned, this was not planned, and this was just some things that we came to terms, and yeah, we are leaving Faze Clan.
Because seeing everyone leave online like one by one, obviously it looks crazy, and you guys don't know a lot of what is happening behind the scenes. But what I can say, what I will add to that, is that nothing is going to change from the viewer's perspective, from the chat's perspective, with our dynamic. Like, we are all still rocking with each other. We're all staying together. Me, Ron, Lacey, Jason, Silky, Kason, Rage. Like, we're all still doing our thing collectively and working on our own thing moving forward, and still going to be a part of each other's content. It's not like everyone's going in over here and doing their solo thing, over here and doing their solo thing. We're all still doing what exactly we were doing before, just not underneath those 4 letters anymore.
But Banks kept it going, even revealing private correspondence with Max, which told a different story.
And not to spoil anything, but I've talked to Max more in the last 5 months than every other Faze member combined. Max has asked me for opinions on everything from creative to content to his career. He's asked me personally for help managing his career from here on out. He's confided in me about his team sucking and things falling apart. And the big one, since Max wanted to go live and talk about standing on business, and I was right, and look who was right, and I left Faze first, and look at me, 100K viewers, high as off the clout, and the engaged, just proving everything that I said 100% right yesterday. This streamer brain shit is real.
I'ma make you proud, bro. Thank you for always believing in me. Watch. Understandably, Max wasn't pleased about how Banks was moving. First issuing a statement online, which suggested he'd been exploited by Banks while in a fragile and impressionable state. But since then, he's had his eyes opened. I joined Faze at 20. I respected Banks. After I left Faze, Banks would call me saying I needed him and my career was falling off. He took advantage on the fact that I was depressed and in the hospital. At one point, I let all the calls get to me and asked to join the Faze team, but I kept going in November. I was introduced to a manager who helped me to realize a lot of things were lies. Then he doubled down on stream, claiming that he should have always known what he was getting into with someone like Banks.
And a nigga drop our messages from the past 3 months. So yes, gang, that whole night, you feel me? I'm just trying to figure out what the is going on. I'm like, all right, bro. But you know, life happens. What's the lesson off that? Don't trust the nigga ever. If you see someone on bullshit, recognize that and move accordingly, gang. That's something I need to learn. You feel me? Why the I'm depressed confiding in Faze Bank, man? What are we talking about? Shit don't make no sense. And it's all good though. Life happens though. Life happens. Life happens. Life happens.
And almost immediately, Banks clapped back once more. Blackboy Max is a liar. You guys see the way I spoke to him via our text messages. I always handled with care. He fucked his friends over, left because he thought he was the program, and has admitted multiple times it was solely a career move. This kid thinks he's Travis Scott, and it's a shame it's come to this. As it all unfolds, it's hard to tell precisely where the truth lies. But Faze Rain recently summarized the story of Faze's latest chapter and how inorganic the attempt to revitalize it really was on IG. One day you will realize everything on the internet is fake. The people, fake. Friendships, fake. Intentions, fake. The stories, fake. And unfortunately, everything we're seeing between Max and Banks seems to prove that you just can't trust anyone out there. All this leads directly to where we are today, with Faze basically having no roster, and any streaming star likely nervous to get in tow with the brand after seeing it implode once more. The only silver lining is that it still boasts elite competitive teams in esports, particularly in Counter-Strike 2, while the influencer aspect of the brand is officially on the back burner. Faze Esports has always operated as a separate entity. Nothing on that side will ever change, read a statement. Rather, it will become our main focus moving forward. But even that might be short-lived, as rivals like BC Game are eager to take their star players like Kerrigan, Frozen, and Elige to the point that they'd previously swooped with a $10 million offer. And while they didn't necessarily feel like they had to take it then, the game has changed, and that money could come in handy. Publicly, the brand's official accounts insisted that hope remained amid the sadness, and that it was by no means over. It's heartbreaking to see this era of Faze come to a close. It's beyond tragic. The way it all ended, it's been an emotional few days. We wish the boys the best, not only as creators, but as people too. Faze has always felt like a family, so we will always conditionally root for and support them. But as they move into much less lucrative territory in esports, someone like Banks, who isn't even affiliated anymore, is still facing a whole lot of criticism because people believe it's actually his greed that brought Faze to its knees. Being 34 years old and not taking any accountability for ruining your business 2 times now is insane. This dude always blaming other people for his failures in life. As if he wasn't already fighting enough problems, Banks has now been accused of an unsavory and illegal relationship with Charli D'Amelio when she was underage by Blackboy Max's cousin, Fatboy Dip.
Put it on God! You wasn't fucking Charli D'Amelio when she was 18. And I want to take that a step further. Put it on God, you ain't that when she said. Now, gang, I did a little something. Like, I see she's from Massachusetts too. Like, you slid in her shit. Like, yo, I miss home too. Like, I want to know how you went and that bitch. I know you bitch, cause you carrying around like an arm trophy. Bitch can't even drink, gang.
But it's safe to say that he's not lying down to this latest attack, and is already claiming that he'll sue Blackboy Max's team if it comes to it. Still, the former leader seems to have high hopes for the year ahead, even if he is moving like a man far younger with him by posting literal drawings about the drama online. A little over 2 years ago, it looked like Faze had endured the final storm and bottled the formula to success. Now, it looks like they might never resurface. For the rest of the crew that brought Faze to its knees by leaving, things are getting interesting to say the least. At the moment, Ron and Lacey are finding out that there are some downsides to independence, particularly when it comes to paying rent to stay in the former Faze house after leaving their deals.
Rent that I didn't sign up for. Apparently $18,000. Something like that. I don't really know what's going on. I'm also being told a lot of things behind the scenes that is currently draining my energy. That has nothing to do with anyone in particular. This is all allegedly, but I'm still trying to power through it right now by streaming for you guys.
Lacey is even making some sacrifices, if you can call it that, to ensure he can make ends meet.
Rent is due. Rent is due, so today will be a long stream. Yesterday was a long stream. The day before that was a 13-hour stream. I also would appreciate it if I'm gonna do a sleep stream. Here's my method. I'm gonna do a sleep stream once a month where I am going to sleep on stream with max ads running, and I need all of you guys to tab me open on your computers with 1% volume and just leave it on the whole night. No ad block or nothing, okay? So once a month, I'm doing a sleep stream. I need y'all to just help me out one time and help me pay my rent, okay? I'll be asleep. That's fine. Y'all can go to sleep. Just leave the stream open, 1% volume, let me run max ads for a night and get my rent money. Stop putting that baby doing this. Just come on. Can you guys reason with me here?
Unfortunately for him, he's also regretting the huge ink he got to celebrate his alignment with the squad. As it turns out, it'll be tough to get rid of.
This is what she said. Hey Lacey, after looking in depth and seeing the pictures you sent me and going back to the work I did on your arm, I've been trying to figure out how we are gonna change this logo. Unfortunately, there's no way it's possible to cover it because it's too bold. When you asked me to do it, you wanted it to stand out, so we did it darker. The only thing we can do is disguise it, but there's no way to cover it, and I don't know if laser would work because you wanted it so dark.
While leaving Faze over a proposed 20% cut could be seen as a gamble, the general belief is that most of them will be flourishing, even if Mizkif thinks that one of them in particularly is probably doomed to fall off in the long run.
I think some of them are going to do way better, and it's already been happening. I'm pretty sure Ron is going to do way better. Jason, I think, has a huge chance to go crazy if he does the right stuff. But I'll be honest, and I haven't said his name before. It's like Voldemort to me. But Silky, I don't know what's going to happen with you, bro, but good luck, man. I don't know what's going to go on, but good fucking luck. I seriously don't know what the hell you're going to do. I think a lot of other guys will be fine, but Silky, I don't know, bro. I don't even know if I'm going to invite you to my own parties, I'll be honest with you.
Although it presented a golden opportunity for so many people, the continued controversies that have always been an issue for Faze means that there's clearly something rotten at its core, and without any of them saying too much, a conversation between Lacey, Ron, and Toby of the Sidemen saw them learn how a team is supposed to really move, rather than what was going down with Faze.
I have a question. So how do you guys get around, like, let's say, hypothetically, one person is bigger than the other person. One person does this, one person puts in more effort. It's still just...
Well, you got to hold each other accountable and say, listen, I'm putting in a lot of effort here. You guys need to step up because we're even parties. You know what I mean?
I like that. I actually really like that.
It doesn't matter about the size of individuals because we are a collective. We're not individuals here. Yeah.
Yep.
Like our group chemistry is what makes the Sidemen. It's not the fact that KSI's got 20 million subs or, you know, Harry's got 16 million subs. It's the group chemistry that people care about. And there's going to be people that watch for me. There's going to be people that watch for Vic. Like, we all bring our own thing to the table. You get it? So you split evenly, you work hard together.
And now they're increasingly willing to tell the public what was going down, to the point that they're reading contracts out online.
It says, by entering this area and by your presence in this area, you consent to being photographed, filmed, and or otherwise recorded. Your entry and your presence constitutes your irrevocable consent to such photography, filming, and or recording into any use in any and all media throughout the perpetuity of your appearance, voice, image, and likeness. In any name for any purpose whatsoever in connection with Faze Media.
Wait, without compensation? I wasn't signing contracts. I can say I don't give a fuck.
In a matter of days, over 15 years of hard work seemed to implode in everyone's faces. But when you look back like we just did, it's clear that things were never built to last. Particularly the way Faze was being run with the new cast of characters. Where internet fame is usually fleeting, it once seemed like a brand like Faze could survive if they could continually adapt to the ever-changing landscape. But once again, this is majorly in doubt, and this latest complete collapse of the crew might not be something they could come back from this time around. As always, it's your boy Luesta, and I want to thank y'all for watching today's video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.